Basic fares and discount airlines, yay or nay? There are a lot of mixed opinions about these two items. Today I'm going to be sharing my personal experience and also feedback given to me by my friends and family. Because I am a fan of Alaska Airlines, I'm going to be using them as an example for the basic fare. I know that Alaska Airlines is like cream of the crop in terms of domestic airlines, so my experience with them is not going to be the same as, say, if you take United, Frontier, or some other airline. So just keep that in mind. So what is basic fare? Basic fare is a type of ticket that is typically cheaper, but it comes with a lot of restrictions. So, for example, on Alaska, Alaska is still quite generous in terms of you get the free food, the free drinks, and entertainment, pretty much the same main cabin experience as a regular ticket, but there are a couple restrictions. For example, you cannot pick your seat ahead of time. So if you're like me who prefers aisle seat, you're out of luck. Also, if there's more than 2 people in your party, you might not be able to sit together. And the big thing is no refunds and no changes. So if you do decide to book a basic fare, make sure that your plans are locked in place.
What was true then is true now. Have a plan, stick to it.
For those of you who are new to flying, here's a quick baggage 101. There are 2 categories of baggage. The first is the checked-in bag. This is the bag that you hand over to the ticket agent and then you pick it up at your destination. The second type of bag is the carry-on bag. There are 2 types of carry-on bags. First is a personal item, so that's the smaller bag, which is typically a purse or a backpack. It has to fit underneath the seat in front of you. The second carry-on bag is typically like a rolling bag or a large duffel bag. This will go in the overhead bin. Now, the important thing to remember is that if you have a basic or saver fare, you are going to be in the last group to board.
Travelers with carry-ons that have no chance of fitting in the overhead compartment.
And on a lot of flights, they run out of overhead bin space. So what that means is pack everything valuable in your small personal bag, just in case they have to take away your larger carry-on bag. Now, when I say take away, I don't mean like they keep it for themselves, and you don't get it back. Most airlines, they will check in that second bag for free. Now it's time to talk about discount airlines. My first experience on a discount airline was on Spirit, and the flight was actually better than I expected. I knew that luggage was going to cost a lot more, so we didn't bring that much. We did not, select our seat, and also we brought our own food and drinks because none of that's included. When it comes to discount airlines, just be aware that there are a lot of fees pretty much on everything. So plan ahead, read their website, and see what you need to do before you get to the airport. There's an article I'm going to share with you in just a second from Traveler website, and they go over a couple tips on how you can avoid those fees. This is the article that I was referring to, How to Avoid Spirit Airlines Fees and Extra Charges on Your Next Step. So I'm just going to quickly read the first line. They're somewhat notorious in the world of air travel. Spirit Airlines baggage fees, seating surcharges, and numerous other fare add-on options. The ultra-low carrier sells for anything beyond basic transportation. It's a business model that has helped Spirit to lower its fares, but those fees can add up quickly. Okay, so number 1, buy your ticket at the airport. This is to avoid the convenience fee of buying your ticket online. Number 2, don't reserve seats in advance. This is to avoid the seat selection fee, which is something I personally am willing to pay as long as it's under $20 to get an aisle seat. But yes, it can cost between $1 to $50 on Spirit if you want a specific seat. Number 3, print your boarding pass ahead of time. This is something you should easily be able to do once you've checked in online. You're going to get the boarding pass and you should try to print that at home or at your office. If you forget to print your boarding pass ahead of time, Spirit charges $10 per boarding pass at the ticket counter. Number 4, pack extremely light. That's because unlike Alaska, Spirit does not include baggage allowance. So you're going to have to fit everything into your personal items, so like a backpack or purse. If that is not possible and you do have to bring a check-in bag, buy that extra bag allowance online. And this is extremely important. I'm going to share a story very soon about why that is the case. But if you know that you are going to be bringing a checked-in bag, when you buy your ticket online, make sure to also purchase a checked-in bag at that time. So on Spirits, if you do that, it'll cost about $38 to $40 for an additional carry-on. That's very pricey compared to other airlines, but it's going to cost you even more if you wait. If you bring that carry-on bag to the counter, then you're gonna be paying like $55 to $65. So don't do that. In terms of checked-in bag, if you pay for a checked bag at the time of booking, it's $32 online, and then that amount goes up as you wait. So earlier is better. Number 6, bring your own snacks and drinks. Number 7, join the $9 fare club. So I don't take Spirit enough times to really do this, but I imagine if you do fly Spirit, a couple of times a year, it might actually be worth it to get a membership and save 50% on your luggage fees. Story time. So as I mentioned, it is extremely important to know how much baggage you're bringing when you take a discount airline and buy those allowances online when you book your ticket. And here's why. My second experience on a discount airline was for an international flight from Boston to Barcelona. This was for a last-minute business trip, and basically Norwegian Air was the only affordable route at that time. So we checked in at the Boston counter, everything was okay. We each had a personal item, a small purse, and then a heavier roller bag filled with our, event stuff. So the Boston to London leg was fine. London is when everything fell apart for 2 main reasons. One, we had booked the trip on Kiwi.com, which is a legitimate website. They have great customer service. But what we didn't know is that they had booked each leg of our trip as a separate reservation.
Why would you do that?
What that means is that for every leg of the trip, we should have purchased separate baggage allowances. There was someone in my party who did not do that for the second leg of the trip. So what happened was we got to London and we could have used an express service to avoid leaving the secure area and doing like the check-in process again. But because one of our luggage was not, pre-bought or in the system, we had to leave the secure area and go to the ticket counter. Then at the ticket counter, the guy wasn't very nice. That's when we found out that Norwegian Air has an unusual baggage policy. On most airlines, your personal item and your larger carry-on item have separate weight restrictions. On Norwegian Air, both items combined have to equal 10 kilograms, which is impossible with our heavy event stuff. And I thought that we were okay because we had checked in Boston, And the guy, like the ticket agent, didn't say anything. He gave us a yellow approved tag. But I guess that doesn't really mean anything in London, because the guy looked at us like, oh my god, why do you guys have so much luggage, and why would you think I would let you guys through?
You shall not pass!
We ended up compromising. We convinced them to let us keep one of the heavy carry-ons and then pay £100 for the second carry-on. So that was that. And then when we got to the gate, the same thing happened all over again.
I'm free! I'm free! Dang it!
So moral of the story, know exactly how many bags you bring with you and pay for those allowances. If you do use like a third-party site to book your flights, make sure you pay for the baggage allowance for each leg of the trip. It really comes down to what type of traveler you are. If you keep your expectations in check and you're just trying to get from A to B without much luggage, these might be the perfect option for you. On the other hand, if you do like the little conveniences like picking your own seat, like me, you might want to consider sticking to the regular fare. Again, I'm CozyCannoli. Thank you for watching, and please hit the subscribe button below to show your support. See you next week.